Yeah, I'm 10, 12 years in, I got 4 MVPs and 4 championships, like, but do I still want to do this shit? You know what I'm saying?
You know how hard it is.
Some people say, I want to go play baseball.
Larry Bird just clapped back at LeBron James and Kevin Durant, and his response has everyone talking. The Celtics legend, who's usually chill when it comes to modern versus old school NBA debates, apparently hit his breaking point after something Durant said on LeBron's podcast. According to people close to Bird, KD's words crossed a line that Larry just couldn't let slide anymore.
Garth Gilmore told me one time, he played for Chicago, he said, if you expect to play a long time in this league, you better quit mopping up the floor. And I thought, well, he's crazy because that's what basketball is all about.
Bird takes it away from Wilkins, goes to the floor and gets it. Gets it up ahead.
See, Bird built his entire career on one rule. Show up and battle every single night, no excuses. No sitting out because you're tired, no taking load management breaks, none of that. This was a guy who pushed through brutal back pain, sometimes laying flat on the floor before games just to get loose. He grinded, he fought, and he played hurt. Not for fame, but out of respect for the game and the fans who filled the stands to watch him shine. That mindset was his identity, and it's what made him one of the toughest to ever touch the court.
What do you think of when you hear the term load management thrown around?
It shouldn't be needed, first and foremost. You know, I never wanted to miss a game because it was an opportunity to prove. The fans are there to watch me play. I want to impress them.
So when Durant threw some slick shade at Michael Jordan during LeBron's Mind the Game podcast, Bird reportedly lost it. That offhand jab didn't just disrespect MJ. To Bird, it disrespected every old school player who bled for the game. Sources say he found Durant's comment one of the most disrespectful things said in today's basketball talk.
Way up on top, who probably worked his ass off to get a ticket or to get money to buy the ticket.
You really cared about the guy who sat in the top deck at the Palace in Auburn Hills to watch you when you came to Detroit?
Yeah, because I know he's probably yelling.
And you know Bird doesn't throw words like that around lightly. LeBron couldn't help but laugh when KD said it. The cameras caught everything. They both knew exactly what they were stirring up. It was like they were trying to make Jordan's first retirement sound like he quit on basketball, while LeBron's long career made him the real grinder. But here's where Durant messed up big time. That cute little remark totally ignores the truth about why Jordan walked away in 1993. And once you know that full story, everything changes.
Let me tell you about why it was important to me, because that's all I'm going to say. My parents, I didn't come from very much. And for Christmas, my parents got me a ticket to go watch the San Antonio Spurs because David Robinson was my favorite player. One ticket. My dad, who worked security and scrubbed floors and did all that stuff, he dropped me off at the game, gave me $5, and I went in there by myself because my family couldn't afford to come to the game.
Michael Jordan didn't just wake up one morning and decide he was done with basketball. Not even close. That summer, his world shattered when his father, James Jordan, was murdered in cold blood during a robbery. This was the man who pushed Michael to greatness. His rock, his reason for everything. At the very top of his career, after 3 straight championships, MJ walked away, not because he was tired, but to honor his father's dream. They had always talked about him playing professional baseball someday, and Jordan made that dream real out of love and grief, not boredom.
He says, you know, you twist your ankle, young fella, come over and sit with me. You know, this is, you need to. I said, no, man, I'm trying to make a name for myself. There's no way I can sit. You know, I need to get out there and show what I'm capable of. I want to play. I want to win. I want to.
So when Kevin Durant smirked and tossed out that shady "some people play baseball" comment on LeBron's podcast, he wasn't just joking. He was being straight up disrespectful. He turned one of the darkest chapters of Jordan's life into a punchline. And LeBron sitting there laughing right along with it. That only made it worse. Bird saw that as a total slap in the face to the legacy of a man who carried basketball on his back for a decade. Now let's talk about when Jordan actually retired. Did he dip out after getting bounced in the first round?
Larry Bird, Charles Barkley, we earned what we got. When the corporate America came to us, we had a game that could validate their admiration
and sponsorship and all that, yeah.
Now they get that before they play one game.
Yeah.
So you're rolling the dice to see if this kid's ever going to be good or not.
Yeah.
So in essence, you're paying the kid off of potential.
Yeah.
That he may be great.
You don't think that's good?
No, because I think it sets bad work ethic. When you get something so easily, you're not going to work as hard.
Nope. After getting embarrassed in the finals? Not even close. He retired after winning his 3rd straight title, 3 championships in a row, something even legends like Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and Isaiah Thomas never did. And he did it all while grieving his father's death. That's not quitting. That's emotional strength most people can't even understand. But here's where it gets wild. Look who's throwing stones. Kevin Durant. The same guy who left Oklahoma City in 2016, right after blowing a 3-1 lead to the Warriors, and then joined the exact same team that knocked him out. The 73-win super team with Curry, Clay, and Draymond already running the league. That move, still called one of the weakest in NBA history. And it didn't stop there. Durant bailed on Brooklyn when things got messy, demanded a trade, and then ran off to Phoenix, just to check out again when pressure hit.
This rest stuff just drives me crazy. You're playing basketball for a living, okay? I understand if you're working in a coal mine that you may need a rest day after it. You're playing basketball.
That's the dude calling Michael Jordan a quitter? Please. And LeBron, he's not innocent either. When Cleveland got tough the first time, he took his talents to South Beach. When the Heat started slipping in 2014, he bounced right back to Cleveland. And when that didn't go his way, off to Los Angeles he went. All that talk about loyalty, gone when it's convenient. Every time things got rough, LeBron found the fastest way out. It's like running became part of his playbook. And the shade didn't stop with Durant's baseball jab either. Nah, KD doubled down, saying the real goal for NBA players shouldn't be winning rings, MVPs, or giving their all every night. It should be about playing 20 years, just lasting. And there was LeBron nodding along like Durant just dropped some life-changing wisdom. But that's where Michael Jordan's entire philosophy blows their argument to pieces. When you hear load management, what name pops in your head? Definitely not Jordan. That man didn't care about how long he could stretch his career. He cared about how much he could dominate while he had it. He wasn't chasing longevity. He was chasing greatness every single season.
What is it, load management? Yeah. Like, can you imagine somebody telling me, we gonna rest you tonight? What do you mean rest me? It's a game.
Or you coming into the season and going like this, I got 82 games, count on me missing 20.
No.
We can't have a guy making $95 million saying, I can't play basketball for you. You can't ask fans to pay that money for a guy making $95 million won't play back-to-back games.
I love the NBA game, but then I turn on to a game.
Jordan's mindset was simple but lethal. Push your limits, elevate your team, win championships, and destroy anyone in your way. He wasn't just a scorer, he was a perfectionist on both ends of the court. The numbers say it all. 15 years in the league, really 13 full seasons, and look what he stacked up. 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs, 5 regular season MVPs, 10 scoring titles, and 9 all-defensive team nods. That's not just impressive, that's a career masterpiece. Now compare that to LeBron and Durant combined. Together they've logged nearly 40 seasons, more than triple Jordan's prime years, yet what's the total haul?
Right, and then the stars are not playing because of load management. It's hurting.
6 championships, 5 MVPs, 6 finals MVPs, 5 scoring titles, and 5 all-defensive selections combined. That's wild. Almost 4 decades between them, and they still couldn't outdo what Jordan did in basically 10 years. Twice the time, half the results. That's the difference between chasing stats and chasing greatness. Making an impact, that was Michael Jordan's entire mindset from the moment he stepped into the league. When he debuted in 1984, he didn't just show up, he played all 82 games straight as a rookie. And this wasn't the cushy NBA of today. Back then, the game was rougher, the hits were harder, and travel was brutal. Teams flew commercial, had one trainer, maybe one strength coach if they were lucky, and back-to-backs were non-stop. Yet players showed up every single night. Just look at the 1999 to 2000 season. 58 players played all 82 games. Now fast forward to today, the 2020s, the era of private jets, massive medical staffs, full recovery teams, and world-class facilities. And somehow we're seeing the worst player availability in NBA history. With every advantage imaginable, guys are playing less than ever. Why? Because the mentality changed, plain and simple. Jordan's mindset was built on pride and respect. As he once said, when someone's yelling at me, I want to shut him up. That's the difference. Jordan respected the grind, the game, and most importantly, the fans. He understood being in the NBA wasn't some heavy burden, it was a privilege. So when players making $95 million sit out games just because they're tired, that's not rest. That's disrespect to everyone who pays to see them perform. That's what load management has turned into. A giant slap in the face to the fans and to the game itself. LeBron James, for all his greatness, has only played a full 82-game season once in over 20 years. Once. Meanwhile, legends like Larry Bird, Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, and Allen Iverson did it multiple times without making excuses. And here's the ripple effect. When LeBron sits, the whole league notices. If the king can take nights off, why can't everyone else? Soon, role players start resting, bench guys follow, and before you know it, the message spreads. Regular season games don't really matter unless it's playoff time. That's how the mindset crumbled. Kevin McHale once nailed it perfectly. Jordan's era was built different because Jordan set the tone. When Michael Jordan ruled the NBA, players showed up. They competed like their careers depended on it, played through pain, and gave fans everything they had. Even when Jordan broke his foot and missed 64 games early in his career, he refused to sit the rest of the season. Management wanted him shut down. Jordan said no way. He came back on limited minutes, but when the clock hit crunch time and the game was on the line, he demanded to be on that floor. That's who he was, relentless. Jordan once said, "Do you really care about the guy sitting in the top deck?" And then answered himself, "Yeah, because I know he's probably yelling at me. I want to shut him up." That's the fire that drove him. If fans came to see him play, he wasn't about to waste their time or their money. If his body physically couldn't go, fine. But if he just didn't feel like it, that wasn't an option. That's the difference between today's stars and the legends who built the league. It's hurting the game, plain and simple. Jordan and Larry Bird each played fewer than 15 full seasons, but they squeezed every ounce of effort out of each one. Diving for loose balls, locking down defense, taking charges, whatever it took to win, they did it. They weren't pacing themselves for some 20-year farewell tour. They were locked in on that night's game and that year's championship. Meanwhile, Durant and LeBron seem more focused on personal milestones, stats, points, and leaderboard rankings. Jordan once said that if he cared about scoring records, he'd have kept playing to chase Wilt and Kareem, but he didn't. He cared about one thing: rings. Winning was his obsession. That's where the gap between generations shows clear as day. When Durant says the goal is just playing 20 years, he's admitting that the modern mindset isn't about greatness, it's about survival. Jordan's goal wasn't to hang around, it was to dominate, to crush the competition, and to leave behind a legacy no one could touch. And guess what? He did it, in only 13 full seasons. Durant and LeBron have nearly 40 combined seasons, and they're still chasing Jordan's ghost. Here's the wild part. NBC recently brought Jordan back into the NBA spotlight. Why? Because even after retiring over 2 decades ago, his influence still shakes the league. When Jordan speaks, players and fans listen. When he says, "Respect the game, play every night, and honor the fans," that message hits. That, right there, is Jordan's real response to Durant and LeBron. He doesn't need to rant on a podcast or post cryptic tweets. His legacy is the answer. His career still echoes louder than any quote they could ever drop. According to insiders, Larry Bird has been saying the same thing privately, that Jordan doesn't need to defend himself because his game already did that decades ago. Bird reportedly told close friends that Jordan's career speaks louder than anything Durant or LeBron could ever say with a mic in front of them. Those two can laugh it up on their podcast all they want, but they know the truth. Every debate still circles back to Jordan. Every all-time ranking still starts with his name at the top, and no amount of longevity or social media talk will ever erase that. Because here's the cold truth. Michael Jordan didn't chase years. He chased greatness, and greatness doesn't need 2 decades to prove itself. It only takes one moment, one game, one unforgettable season to show the world what the best truly looks like. Jordan had 13 of those seasons, stacked with dominance, legacy, and respect that still define basketball today. Durant and LeBron, they've had almost 40 combined seasons, and they're still chasing his shadow. So yeah, Michael Jordan did respond to Durant and LeBron, and Larry Bird's backing him every step of the way. They just didn't need to say names to make their point. Their legacy, their mindset, their whole approach to the game, that is the response. And it's louder than anything said on a podcast or in a tweet. If you think today's NBA needs to find its heart again, hit that like button. If you believe players should start respecting the game and the fans who keep it alive, drop a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe, because this conversation about what's really going on in basketball, it's just getting started.